Christmas, a season emblematic of joy, familial connection, and the warmth of tradition. Yet beneath the glittering lights and jubilant melodies lies an unsettling truth. For some, the season's cheer is a fragile mask, concealing moments of unrelenting dread. Tonight, I present 3 harrowing accounts that illustrate how even the most jubilant of holidays can be shrouded in darkness and fear. Let us begin. It was Christmas Eve, and Emily had recently taken residence in her late grandmother's secluded cabin deep within the woods. Snow cascaded heavily outside as the clock struck midnight. By the firelight, she sipped her cocoa, basking in the serene isolation, when an unexpected knock resounded from the door. The timing was peculiar. Who would venture out at this hour? She cautiously peered through the peephole, but the threshold was empty. The knocking grew insistent, each thud reverberating through the cabin. Her hand hovered over the doorknob, doubt gnawing at her resolve. What if it wasn't just the wind or a harmless traveler? The knocking grew louder, more insistent, as though the unseen visitor knew her hesitation. Her breath quickened, and she cast a fleeting glance toward the phone. No signal. The isolation of the woods felt suffocating now. Against her better judgment, and with a trembling hand, she opened the door. A lone child stood barefoot on the frost-bitten ground, clothed in threadbare rags, trembling in the cold. Compassion overtook caution, and Emily ushered the child inside. But as she turned back to secure the door, the child whispered, "You shouldn't have done that." In that instant, the room plunged into darkness as the fire extinguished and the cabin's dim light faltered. Shadows began to undulate across the walls, inexplicably animated. The child's visage contorted grotesquely, its youthful innocence subsumed by something malevolent. Emily's screams pierced the night, swallowed by the oppressive stillness of the surrounding woods. By morning, concerned neighbors arrived, only to find the cabin desolate, except for a solitary trail of footprints leading deep into the forest. Mark, a pragmatist known for his skepticism regarding the supernatural, received an enigmatic gift from a colleague during the office's holiday exchange. An antique music box purportedly steeped in history. Finding no value in superstition, Mark displayed it on his mantle. That night, a haunting melody emanated from the music box, rousing him from his slumber. He dismissed it as a mechanical anomaly and returned to bed. Yet, with each subsequent night, the melody intensified, accompanied by unexplainable phenomena. Flickering lights, doors creaking ajar, and disembodied whispers. In desperation, Mark attempted to discard the artifact. Yet, inexplicably, it reappeared on his mantle the following morning. Uneasy, he confronted his colleague, who divulged a chilling revelation. The music box had once belonged to a woman who met a tragic end on Christmas Eve. Her restless spirit, tethered to the artifact, was said to seek resolution. As Mark ended the call, the music began anew. His heart raced as a spectral figure emerged from the box, a pallid apparition with icy hands reaching toward him. Jack and his family had ventured to a remote cabin for a quintessential Christmas retreat. On Christmas morning, Jack awoke early to admire the pristine, undisturbed snow outside. The silence of the forest, paired with the unbroken whiteness, was almost otherworldly. However, his tranquility was disrupted when he observed a peculiar sight. A tall, dark silhouette standing motionless on the snowy horizon. His heart skipped, but he dismissed it as an optical illusion and returned to his coffee. Still, unease prickled at the edges of his mind. Each subsequent glance out the window revealed the figure inching closer, as though the very act of looking summoned it. By evening, it loomed at the edge of the yard, its unnerving stillness exuding a palpable menace. Nightfall brought an oppressive stillness, the kind that made every creak and gust of wind feel amplified. Then the power went out, plunging the cabin into darkness. The family gathered in the living room, their flashlights casting erratic beams that seemed to catch on fleeting shadows. A resounding bang shattered the silence, emanating from the window. Jack's hand trembled as he directed his flashlight at the glass. There, mere inches away, stood the figure, its face void of impenetrable shadows. Though motionless, the persistent banging continued, relentless and deafening, as if the sound itself wanted to invade their minds. The family fled to their vehicle in desperation, the crunch of snow beneath their frantic steps, echoing in the still night. As Jack started the car, his hands shaking on the wheel, he chanced a glance at the rearview mirror and frozen. The figure sat in the back seat, its glowing eyes locking onto his, suffusing him with a cold dread that felt like it might stop his heart. These narratives serve as a poignant reminder that even amidst the merriment of the season, the inexplicable and the sinister can reside within the shadows. Rest well tonight, if you dare. Merry Christmas.